Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to deep dive into most exciting announcements and the key insights from the AWS reInvent that happened last year. Okay, so this reInvent was mostly focused on the generative AI things, right? So right, generative AI is taking the tech world by storm, and AWS is at forefront in this. So without any delay, let's get started. So in short, AWS reInvent 2023 was packed with the groundbreaking updates, especially in Gen AI things, right? And in this video we are going to talk more about like what were the major highlights, okay, what were the topics discussed with respect to the technology and how they can matter to the IT industry or across the industry. It's not related to the IT industry itself, but also across the different industry domains, right, into the e-commerce, retail, finance, fintech, you know properties, education, banking, whatnot. Okay, so let's first start to talk about the revolution in the generative AI, right? So generative AI is transforming the industries by creating images, videos, stories, even code, right? Like by code I mean to say, like, it's helping in writing the code, fixing the code, right? So AWS highlighted the announcements in the data professionalization, scalable computes, cutting edge machine learning technologies like transformers and the diffusion models. Okay, next, AWS explained explained the evaluation of machine learning, right? How it is getting evolved, right? Traditional ML required extensive data preparation and was limited to specific tasks. But now, with the Gen AI coming into the picture and the foundational models, we can leverage massive data sets and adopt models for the various tasks with the minimal data. Now, when we say like Gen AI thing and we talk about the traditional ML models, we talk about the Gen AI things as well, right? So, interacting with these Gen AI models, right? Interacting with this model is simple. We use prompts. So prompts are kind of, they are very straightforward instructions that guide the model. Okay, they tell model what to do, right? So AWS also introduced a concept called RAG. So RAG is nothing but it stands for retrieval augmented generation, which integrates external data sources to enhance the AI capabilities. Okay, we'll have a separate discussion on the RAG thing, like what is RAG, okay, what are the architecture, design, workflows, okay, what are the benefits of having the RAG, which all components or the services can be used to enable the RAG capabilities inside Gen AI architecture. Okay, so now we will talk about the core principles or the core design principle here, right? So by core design principles, I mean, like, what are the principles which assure that AI is accessible and impactful, right? So the first thing is simplicity, which AWS emphasized on. So developers can get started without the specialized ML expertise, right? Second is the choice, right? So customer want innovation, personalized experience, and significant business impact. Okay, the third is the data strategy. So a data to have a Gen AI leverage at a full scale, so we should have a very strong data cloud strategy here, right? Then it comes the security thing. So as you know, like, if we talk about the traditional data centers, we talk about the cloud technologies, we talk about any other technology as well, be it in data, be it in MLOps, be it in a DevOps, be it in cloud, be it in application development, security plays a very vital role, right? So building with security and responsible AI is very essential in order to succeed in your building up the Gen AI infrastructure or Gen AI capabilities within the organization. Okay, then comes the cloud dependencies. So Gen AI relies heavily on the robust cloud infrastructure because it needs the scalable infrastructure, it needs seamless integrations with the various services. Okay, and also it needs the high availability, resiliency, durability, and whatnot. So like, with cloud comes up with a lot of features, benefits and that enable industries to deploy their application, develop their application, scale their applications at scale, right? So this is the thing. Now, what AWS was more focused on this AWS reinvent was 2023 was like they were introducing a new service called Amazon Bedrock. Okay, so this is a service which is proprietary of AWS, and this is a managed offering providing high performance foundational models. Okay, it has a lot of foundational models within the Bedrock, and it is totally managed by AWS. Okay, so with Bedrock, building and scaling AI application is easy. It supports RAG, and it lets you to customize your private models with just few lines of code. Okay, so it's not like you need to write it code from scratch and do a lot of reverse engineering, forward engineering, and you need to test it a lot. Bedrock makes your life easy, and you can simply enable the service and you are good to go. Okay, then the second tool which AWS highlighted was the Amazon Code Whisper. Okay, so this is an AI code companion for the developers that generates code and the recommendations from the plain language inputs. Okay, so it is compatible with the popular IDs like PyCharm, your Visual Studio, your what do you say, Atom, right, and whatnot. Okay, so this makes your integration seamless with the popular IDs. It has the command line interfaces, so it makes super easy to integrate. Okay, then AWS also talked about the foundational models, right, and AI 21 labs as well. So AWS provided a variety of foundational models from AI labs, Anthropic, Meta, Stability AI, Amazon Titan. Okay, so AI 21 lab is focusing on task specific models for better accuracy, cost, and latency. Okay, so it's instead of like covering the generic public data and training them and doing the whole sort of task, this AI 1 labs is focusing on these certain specific areas where it can provide the user better response, better accuracy, and cost efficiency, right? AWS also talked about like one of the case studies from the BMW where they showcased how they are leveraging Gen AI to optimize the backend operations and enhance the customer service, right? They have developed a generative AI bot for the cloud governance and the optimization, which is showing the real impact of the AI. Okay, so for this case study, right, we can talk in a separate video like what exactly the case study was, and like how all how AWS Gen AI's services are helping them in their cloud governance and doing the optimization and whatnot. Okay, how this AI Gen AI chatbot helped them. Okay, so I will discuss all these things in a separate video, but we'll go forward and we'll discuss about the the challenging questions and areas of improvements for this reinvent. Okay, so now let's discuss and address some challenging questions and areas of improvement that AWS needs to tackle. So the first thing is the accessibility. Okay, so accessibility here means like how AWS can how AWS make generative AI tools more accessible to non-experts. Okay, because here it looks like if there is a semi-technical person or non-technical person in that area, right, it may be issues for him to access it, to use it. Okay, or if he needs to integrate something, okay, from his application, or if they need to do some back-end work with respect to getting insights from the AI capabilities. So this is where like AWS needs to answer it, how they can make it more accessible to semi-technical people or non-technical peoples, right? The second point which I can think is the data strategy and security. So by this, what I mean, like, what are the measures in place to enhance the data governance and the security? Okay, because there are a lot of things wherein like wherein AWS needs to answer like what level of security they provide. Right? For example, you are having your data stored in AWS. You have a Gen AI application kind of a Bedrock, which is been consuming your data and providing you the answers, right? What if like if sensitive data gets leaked out of while generating the response? Okay, who is responsible for it? Is it the Bedrock or it is the developer who has developed it? Developer has only developed the Python notebooks, right? And based on that Python notebooks, he is performing some specific task. And while doing this, executions or generating results, some sensitive data got leaked. So who is accountable for it? How we are going to make sure that governance is in place, right? And also, what level of security, right? What level of security you provide so that it makes sure like it is Gen AI capabilities from AWS are compatible with the health science companies, with the with the banking fintech industry, right? Because these industries have a lot of sensitive data, a lot of data regulations, compliance in place, which needs to be thorough thinking, thorough analysis, and they need to make sure that data is secure, there is a proper governance in place. Okay. Now coming to the third point is like how AWS can, cost optimization, right? So cost optimization here is like these services are very expensive to use, right? If you go with cloud provider, there are a lot of services from AWS. You need a Bedrock, you need a SageMaker in the back end, and if you're not that technical, okay, who understands like how you can optimize your cost or what would be cost for using that particular service, right? It can generate a lot of AWS bills, and maybe like it would be not that good for the organization or for the startups to use it. Okay, so now the question is like how AWS can help customers to balance performance with the cost effectiveness. Okay, this is something AWS needs to answer, right? There are a lot of open source models coming, right? Hugging Face is there, right? Which is a very popular LLM registry or model registry, which provides you a lot of models which need a less compute power, and you can deploy on your local machines, or you can deploy on your in-house servers, and you can get the results out of it. But if you start using Bedrock, okay, so all their compute resources, or they are the high-end resources, okay, and the pricing is too much for it. So you need to make sure, or you need to have a balance between the performance and the cost effectiveness. Okay, then comes the scalability. So scalability, like how scalable is your infra with respect to the traffic which is coming on, right? Since it requires a lot of compute resources, okay, and the models are very powerful, the foundational models are very powerful if you are hosting on the AWS thing. So how you can make sure like there is no issues related to this scalability, okay? And what are the improvements planned for scaling the AI application from AWS? Okay, so this is a question. If you go on the enterprise level, I'm not talking about the small scale industries, but the industries which are on very on the enterprise level, and they have millions and millions of users, and they are using their services on the real time. Okay, so how you are making sure like your applications or the AI capabilities or Gen AI capabilities are scalable, okay, and the customer is not running into the issues with respect to the scalability. Okay, then is the customization. Okay, so customization is something like if a user wants to have some customization in their AI models, right? So how AWS is gonna address that? Like how at what level, or till what level a user can do the customization, okay, or they can use the capabilities of the customization and deploy and use the AI models from the AWS Bedrock. Okay, now is the ethical AI. Okay, so I mean like this is something like to discuss about the framework, right? So what sort of framework AWS should come up that it ensures the ethical use of AI. Okay, so this is a framework which would be talking about what are the good ways to use the AI, okay, where like there is no abusive thing happening, right? Okay, there are no sensitive or sensitive data getting leaked out of it, though we already talked about in the security thing. But like, it is more related to like the right ways of using the AI. Okay, it's not harming the end user or the other user who is not using AI or who is using AI. Okay, so what is the right framework, right? In the open market there are tools which have, like LLM guard is one of the open source tool wherein you can use it and it will basically scan the inputs or scan the generated output. So it makes sure that uh, it is not generating any abusive content, it is not generating any violent content, right? It respects the all the humans across this planet. Okay, so this is all about, the challenges and the highlights of the AWS reInvent. So I mean, like, that is the wrap on our highlights of the AWS reInvent 2023. And it is clear that AWS is pushing the boundaries of what's possible with Gen AI. Okay, and also like how it can help the industries to use it for their use cases. Okay, so guys, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more tech insights and the updates. See you next time. Bye bye.